Spark Joy by Marie Kondo. Introduction. Imagine a woman so obsessed with tidying that she suffers a nervous breakdown in high school. Picture her, standing in the middle of her room, paralyzed, realizing that her frantic efforts to discard everything have made her miserable. She had been searching for what to throw away, but in that moment of crisis, a new thought entered her mind, clear as a bell: look for what you want to keep. That moment wasn't just a turning point for her, it was the birth of a global phenomenon. The woman was Marie Kondo, and that simple shift in perspective, from a mindset of lack and discarding to one of gratitude and choosing joy, would eventually touch millions of lives. Her first book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, sold millions of copies and made her a household name. But people had questions. They wanted more. They wanted to see the details, to master the art. And so, she gave us Spark Joy, an illustrated masterclass that dives deeper into her philosophy. This isn't just a sequel, it's the encyclopedia for a life filled with joy. It's the answer to every question, from how do you fold a sweater with weirdly shaped sleeves, to what do you do with things you need but don't necessarily love. What you're about to hear is not just a summary of a tidying manual. It's an exploration of a profound philosophy disguised as a cleaning method. By the end of our time together, you will understand the 6 fundamental rules that guarantee you will never relapse into clutter again. More than that, you'll discover a powerful tool for self-discovery, a way to hone your intuition, and a roadmap to creating a home and a life that truly sparks joy. This is the secret to putting your house and your past in order once and for all. Book summary. Let's begin with a question that gets to the very heart of the matter. What is the difference between tidying and cleaning? You might think they're the same, but Marie Kondo makes a critical distinction that changes everything. Cleaning, she says, is the act of confronting nature. Dust and dirt will always accumulate. It's a law of the universe. Cleaning is the routine battle we wage against that dirt. Tidying, on the other hand, is the act of confronting yourself. Think about it. Things don't just multiply on their own. Clutter happens because we buy things, we accept gifts, and we fail to put things back where they belong. Every cluttered room is a direct result of our own choices. Therefore, tidying isn't about wiping away grime. It's about looking at your life, one object at a time, and making a series of decisions. It's a special event, a one-time marathon that, if done correctly, you'll never have to do again. This is the foundation of the KonMari Method, and it's built upon 6 basic rules. Forget everything you think you know about organizing. These rules are the only map you'll ever need. Rule number 1. Commit yourself to tidying up. This isn't a casual weekend project. It's a significant life event. You have to make a conscious decision that you are ready to do this, thoroughly and completely. Success is 90% mindset. Without this commitment, you're destined to rebound. Rule number 2. Imagine your ideal lifestyle. This is the step most people skip, and it's precisely why they fail. Before you touch a single object, you must know why you're doing this. What is the end goal? Don't just think a clean room. Go deeper. How do you want to feel in your home? What do you want to do there? Do you want to practice yoga in the morning sun? Read a book in a comfortable chair with a cup of tea? Host friends for dinner? Cut out pictures from magazines? Write in a journal? Or just close your eyes and visualize it? This vision becomes your North Star. It's the motivation that will pull you through the entire process, because you're not just getting rid of stuff, you're building the life you want. Rule number 3. Finish discarding first. This is non-negotiable. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to organize and store things before they've decided what to keep. Your home might look neat on the surface, but the closets and drawers are still packed with things you don't need. It's a recipe for relapse. You cannot possibly know how much storage you need until you know exactly how much you're keeping. So, during this phase, don't worry about where things will go. Just focus on one thing: the sorting process. This brings us to the next, and perhaps most revolutionary, rule. Rule number 4. Tidy by category, not by location. How many times have you decided to tidy the bedroom, only to find yourself moving things into the living room, and then shuffling them back again? This is a fool's errand. You can't get a true sense of what you own because items from the same category are scattered all over the house. The KonMari Method insists you tackle your possessions category by category. For example, when you tidy clothes, you must gather every single piece of clothing you own, from your closet, from the laundry room, from the coat rack by the door, from the box in the garage, and put it all in one giant pile. It's a shock treatment. Confronted with this mountain of fabric, you're forced to see the reality of your consumption. It's a powerful and necessary moment of reckoning. Rule number 5. Follow the right order. The order of categories is not random. It's a carefully designed progression to help you hone your sensitivity to joy. You start with the easiest items and move toward the most difficult. The order is clothes, then books, then papers, then komono miscellaneous items, and finally, sentimental items. Clothes are the perfect training ground. They are personal, but usually not as emotionally charged as a box of old photographs. You build your decision-making muscles with your shirts and sweaters, so that by the time you get to sentimental items, the final boss of tidying, your intuition is sharp and clear. If you've ever started tidying and gotten lost for hours looking at old photos, you understand exactly why this rule is so crucial. And now, we arrive at the heart of the entire philosophy. The engine that drives it all. Rule number 6. Ask yourself if it sparks joy. This is the only criterion for deciding what to keep. Forget about "will I use this someday?" or "this was expensive." Those questions lead you down a path of guilt and indecision. The KonMari Method asks you to connect with your things on a deeper, more intuitive level. You must pick up each item. Hold it firmly in both hands. And ask the question, does this spark joy? What does that feel like? Kondo describes it as a little thrill, a feeling of lightness, as if the cells in your body are rising. In contrast, an item that doesn't spark joy will feel heavy, dull. Your body knows. Your job is to learn to listen to it. But what if you don't know what joy feels like? What if you hold up a t-shirt and just feel nothing? This is common. The best way to learn is by comparison. Start by picking your top 3 favorite items of clothing. The ones you absolutely love wearing. Hold them. That feeling right there? That's joy. Now you have a benchmark. As you go through your pile, you're not deciding what to discard. You're choosing what to keep. You are curating your life. For everything that doesn't make the cut, you don't just toss it in a bag. You thank it. You acknowledge its service, even if that service was just teaching you what you don't like, and then you let it go with gratitude. This simple act transforms a painful chore into a respectful, and even healing, ritual. It fosters appreciation for the things you do keep and helps you take better care of them. Now, let's dive deeper into some of the finer points. What about those essential things that don't exactly give you a thrill, like a screwdriver or your winter underwear? Kondo's advice is brilliant. First, she challenges you. If it really doesn't spark joy, go ahead and discard it. Often, this challenge makes you realize, no, wait, I actually do need it. But if you still feel nothing, she suggests a powerful mental exercise. Appreciate its function. Think about what that screwdriver does for you. Dear old screwdriver, you might say, you're a genius. Thanks to you, I can fix things. You save me time and frustration. What a strong, vigorous, and cool design. It might feel silly, but by actively praising these items for the role they play, you transform your relationship with them. You begin to see the joy in their utility, and suddenly, they do spark joy. What about those things that spark immense joy but seem to have no practical use? Think of a beautiful, frilly dress you wore once for a performance but will never wear in public again. The default thinking is to get rid of it. Kondo's response? Why don't you keep it to wear around the house? One of her clients did just that. She put on her vivid blue performance dress, complete with gold earrings and a flower in her hair, and continued the tidying session completely transformed. Your home should be your personal paradise. If an item brings you joy, you don't have to justify its existence with utility. Find a way to incorporate it into your life. Display it. Use it. Let it make your ordinary life a little more extraordinary. As you go through this process, your home will temporarily get messier. This is normal. It's not a rebound. A rebound is when your home returns to its cluttered state because you never truly finished the tidying festival, and things don't have a designated place. Temporary clutter during the marathon is just part of the process. Trust it. Don't pause, don't stop, don't quit. No matter how much stuff you own, the amount is finite. The job will, inevitably, come to an end. Once the great discarding is finished, and only then, you can turn your attention to storage. This is where the magic really settles in. The goal of storage isn't just to hide things away, it's to create a beautiful, functional home for the items you've chosen to keep. The first principle of storage is to aim for simplicity. You don't need fancy, complicated storage systems. In fact, Kondo encourages you to plan your storage with the idea of getting rid of furniture used for storage. The goal is to fit everything into your built-in storage, like closets and cupboards. The second principle is to store all items of the same category in the same place. No more hunting for batteries in 3 different drawers. And within that, store things so that you can see everything at a glance. The enemy of good storage is stacking. When you stack things, the items at the bottom are crushed and forgotten. The solution? Store things vertically. This is most famously applied to clothing. Kondo's folding method is legendary for a reason. You fold each item into a small, neat rectangle that can stand on its own. When you open your drawer, you see every single shirt standing upright, like the spines of books. It's not only incredibly efficient, saving a huge amount of space, but it's also beautiful. It respects the clothes, prevents wrinkles, and makes choosing what to wear a joyful experience instead of a frantic search. This vertical principle applies to almost everything, from socks to scarves to kitchen utensils. The goal is to pack your drawers like a Japanese bento box. Everything has its own neat compartment, arranged beautifully and ready to be enjoyed. Your drawers should be about 90% full. Not stuffed, but full enough that items support each other. An empty, spacious drawer is a vacuum that nature, and our habits, will rush to fill with clutter. When organizing your closet, hang clothes so that they rise to the right. This means hanging heavy, long, dark items on the left, and moving towards light, short, bright items on the right. This upward sloping line creates a sense of lightness and excitement in your closet. It's a small detail, but these details add up to create a space that truly feels good. Let's walk through the categories. After clothes, you tackle books. Take them all off the shelves. The common reason for keeping a book is I might read it again. Kondo's response is blunt: you won't. If a book doesn't spark joy for you now, it has already served its purpose. Perhaps its purpose was to be read, or perhaps its purpose was simply to teach you that you're not interested in that topic. Thank it and let it go. Keep only the books that are in your personal Hall of Fame, the ones you love so much you can't imagine life without them. Next are papers. The basic rule for papers is even more ruthless: discard everything. Of course, not literally. But you should approach papers with that mindset. Keep only what falls into 3 categories: currently in use, needed for a limited period of time, or must be kept indefinitely, like contracts or legal documents. That's it. Credit card statements? Once you've checked them, their job is done. Warranties? Keep them all in a single clear folder, and you'll naturally weed out the expired ones whenever you look for a new one. Manuals for appliances? In today's world, they're almost all online. Let them go. For papers that require action, like bills to pay or forms to fill out, create a single pending box, and make a rule to empty that box regularly. Then comes the biggest and most daunting category: komono, or miscellaneous items. This is everything from stationery and electrical cords to kitchen goods, cleaning supplies, and makeup. The key here is to break it down into smaller subcategories. Don't just tidy the kitchen. Tidy cooking utensils, then eating implements, then foodstuffs. Gather all the pens you own, all the batteries, all the half-used bottles of lotion. And for each tiny category, apply the same principle. Hold each item and ask if it sparks joy. You'll find mystery cords for devices you no longer own. You'll find promotional pens that don't write well. You'll find kitchen gadgets you bought on a whim and used once. Thank them, and let them go. In the kitchen, the primary goal for storage is not ease of access, but ease of cleaning. This is a game changer. Keeping everything out on the counter might seem efficient, but it creates a greasy, cluttered environment that is a nightmare to wipe down. When you store everything away, from your cooking oil to your dish soap, your counters are clear. Wiping them down takes seconds. The joy of a sparkling clean kitchen far outweighs the tiny effort of opening a cupboard to get what you need. Finally, you arrive at sentimental items. This is the last category for a reason. By now, your joy sensor is finely tuned. You're ready. This is your chance to put your past in order. Take out the old letters, the childhood drawings, the mementos from past relationships. The goal isn't to erase your past. It's to choose which parts of it you want to carry into your future. You might keep just one representative item from a particular memory. For old photos, spread them all out. Keep only the ones that truly capture a happy moment, the ones where you look and feel your best. Discard blurry shots or duplicates. You're curating the story of your life. The photos you choose to keep belong in an album, where they can be enjoyed, not hidden in a box. When you finish this process, something magical happens. Your home is transformed. It's no longer just a place to store your stuff. It becomes your own personal power spot, a sanctuary filled only with things you love. It's like your own personal art museum, where every single object has been hand-selected by you, for you. This is the promise of Spark Joy. It's not about minimalism or deprivation. It's about abundance, an abundance of joy, clarity, and intention. It's about creating a space that supports the person you are, and the person you want to become. Commentary. What Marie Kondo has done with Spark Joy is something quite remarkable. She has taken a mundane, often dreaded chore, tidying, and elevated it into a practice of mindfulness, gratitude, and self-discovery. It's easy to dismiss this as just another organizing system, but that would be missing the point entirely. The true genius of the KonMari Method isn't the folding technique or the category order. It's the radical shift in mindset it demands. For centuries, we've approached tidying from a place of negativity. We focus on what's wrong, the clutter, the mess, the excess. We ask ourselves, what should I get rid of? This question is rooted in a sense of lack and guilt. It forces us to relive past mistakes, the bad purchase, the unused gift, the hobby we abandoned. It's a painful process, and that's why we so often fail. Kondo flips this on its head. She asks a positive, empowering question: what do I want to keep in my life? It's a question about the future, not the past. It's about aspiration, not regret. By asking, "Does it spark joy?" she gives us a simple, intuitive tool to bypass the logical, guilt-ridden part of our brain and tap directly into our feelings. It's a form of meditation. With each object, you are forced to be present, to check in with yourself, and to make a decision based on your own internal compass. Think about the profound skills this practice develops. You're not just learning to fold a shirt, you're learning to trust your intuition. You're honing your ability to make decisions, quickly and confidently. This is a skill that extends far beyond your closet. When you've made thousands of small decisions about what truly brings you joy, you become much clearer about the big decisions. What job sparks joy? What relationships spark joy? What life sparks joy? The act of thanking your items before letting them go is another stroke of genius. It reframes the process from one of wasteful discarding to one of mindful release. It acknowledges the value an object brought into your life, even if its purpose is now complete. This practice cultivates a deep sense of gratitude, not just for your possessions, but for your entire life experience. You start to see everything as part of your journey. So, how can you begin to bring this philosophy into your own life, right now? You don't have to tackle your entire house this weekend. Start small. First, try this simple exercise. Choose one, very small category. Not all your clothes, just your socks. Take every pair of socks you own, put them in a pile, and go through them one by one. Hold each pair and honestly ask yourself, does this spark joy? Get rid of the ones with holes, the ones that are stretched out, the ones that just feel meh. Thank them for their service and let them go. Then, fold the ones you're keeping and arrange them beautifully in your drawer. Just this small act will give you a taste of the clarity and satisfaction this method provides. Second, take 5 minutes today to do rule number 2. Sit quietly and imagine your ideal lifestyle. Don't censor yourself. If you want a home filled with plants and books and sunlight, picture it. If you want a minimalist space that feels calm and serene, see it in your mind's eye. Find a single photograph in a magazine or online that captures that feeling. This vision is your why. It's what will make the entire process meaningful. Finally, as you go about your day, practice gratitude for your things. When you take off your shoes, thank them for carrying you. When you use your favorite mug, appreciate how it feels in your hands. This small shift in awareness is the true magic of tidying up. It's about recognizing that your possessions are not just inanimate objects, they are the silent partners supporting your daily life. When you treat them with respect, you are, in turn, treating yourself with respect. That was a summary of Spark Joy by Marie Kondo. We've touched on the core principles today, but a summary is like looking at a map of a beautiful country. The map can show you the path, but it can't give you the experience of the journey. The real transformation happens in the quiet moments of the process itself, when a forgotten piece of clothing brings back a flood of memories, or when letting go of an old book feels like a weight lifting from your shoulders. This summary is a starting point, a way for you to see if this path is one you want to walk. If any of the ideas we've explored today have resonated with you, I truly encourage you to get a copy of the book. Reading it isn't just about learning a method, it's about beginning a conversation with yourself that can genuinely change how you live. The link to the book is in the description below. Also, if you found this journey valuable, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. That way, you won't miss our next deep dive into another life-changing book. Let's continue to learn and grow together.